All right, well, hi, I'm Samantha Morra. I am a technology teacher in Montclair, New Jersey, and I've been teaching for about 18 years now. And right now I work in a middle school with 6th through 8th graders.
So amongst all of your duties, one of which is dealing with the issue of cyberbullying. Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that and what you'll be talking about today?
I have been talking about cyberbullying with both parents, teachers, and our students, and I talk about it in the context of how we relate to each other and digital citizenship and how we need to promote pro-social behaviors, and we need to use technology for constructive purposes versus destructive purposes. And it's very funny, sometimes when you talk to the kids, they don't realize that what they're doing is destructive. And they don't realize that what they're doing is dangerous or hurtful. And they need to have explicit language. Here is how we use technology constructively. Here's how we need to talk to each other. Here's how we need to relate to each other. So we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about some of the consequences of cyberbullying and other things, but we also want to talk about the opposite of, the other face of it is if we don't cyberbully, if we use these tools in productive ways, how well they can promote themselves in the new digital culture that we have.
Go a little more deeply into the idea that they don't understand or realize that they're being destructive. I think there's kind of the popular media right now, there's really kind of social media is a boogeyman.
Right. And unfortunately, there's a huge focus on when somebody does something wrong. As soon as they do something destructive, it's in the newspapers immediately. And I actually tell my students that they need to defend their right to use technology, and the best way they can defend it is by doing positive things, because it takes one person to do one negative thing, and people will now have to see 10 positive things to realize, no, that was just poor behavior on the part of the person, not as a result of using technology. And poor behavior could be writing on the bathroom walls, or it could be writing a destructive post on Facebook. And it's the behavior that's the problem, not technology. So the students don't quite realize that when they put something out there that everyone can see it. They still don't quite realize the path, how fast a message can travel. They don't understand that how they word something, how they present themselves, both in person and digitally, is extremely important. And if they present themselves in ways that look like they are trying to hurt somebody or trying to look cool, that it ends up coming out as a way that they just don't know what they're doing, they are being reckless, and the technology is helping them to be reckless. And unfortunately, usually, I always say that the cyber part of bullying is actually one of the better things that's happened to bullying because it's documented. And I hate saying it because the problem with cyberbullying is how fast it's transmitted. I mean, it is lightning fast. You can say one mean thing and in 24 hours everybody in the school has seen it. But it's documented. It's not like a bully hitting you on the sidewalk outside of school and only one person or nobody saw it. So you have a bit of a paper trail now, which also means that we as adults, we need to act, but we don't necessarily need to overreact. We need to help both people involved, both the person being bullied and the person doing the bullying, realizing that their behaviors need to change and be more in sync. So help the bully understand what they're doing is wrong, and help the person being bullied understand that they are not alone, it is not hidden, we see it, and we want to do something about it.
How do we apply those concepts to the policy, or at a district level, or at an institutional level?
Right. The ways that institutions can deal with this is by creating opportunities to understand how to be a better digital citizen. Just like we teach our students to look both ways before they cross the street, we need to teach them, you're going to make a post. You're going to respond to the teacher perhaps, or you're going to respond to each other, but the post must be constructive. And when we talk about what does that mean, and I've done this with kids as young as kindergarten. How do you say, why, good job? And we're used to it more in kindergarten, first and second grade. By the time middle school comes around, it's like, you did something wrong. But instead it should be, that wasn't constructive, how could you rephrase that? So instead of, you stink, it could be, well, I disagree with what you're saying, and here's why. And giving them the language, because a lot of kids don't have the language yet because we haven't taught it to them. And we're making all of these assumptions, oh no, because they can get on and they can get to the stuff, they can use it right. And it's not necessarily true. We call them, we've heard all the different terms, digital natives and things like that. It's more and I hate saying it, that's why, it's more like they're digital savages, and we need to help them become a little bit more civilized in how they use it so that they don't hurt each other and that they don't hurt the potential of using technology positively. So.